So we want to run a public service announcement from Christopher Steele, a former agent of the MI6, warning Americans about what to look out for in this election. So let's just roll this.
I think we're yet to see perhaps it all play out in the last few weeks before the election. The Russians are also concerned that Kamala Harris will win.
Obviously, very, very close election in America. What are your sources telling you about how Russia might be intervening already or might be planning to intervene?
The one thing that Russia has identified as a key issue in the American election is inflation. And this is something that the Russians think that they can keep up, that they can exacerbate in the West and particularly in America through the oil price. And they've spent the last few years growing closer to OPEC and OPEC leaders to limit production and keep inflation high in the world economy.
And they're also, in your belief, your sources are telling you in your book, that they're in some way trying to manipulate migration at the southern border to the US. Just explain what you found out there.
The Russian intelligence presence in Mexico has absolutely mushroomed. There are many, many more agents operating out of Mexico City now than ever were. And looking at the border, particularly some of the things that were said, I think, by the head of MI5 recently, that the Russians are now in the business of hiring organised criminals and others as plausible deniability, and that somehow they will manipulate gangs and so on to stir up more immigration into the southern part of the US. Yes, I think we're yet to see perhaps it all play out in the last few weeks before the election. The Russians are also concerned that Kamala Harris will win. And that's come out more recently in the information we've obtained. And that does affect the degree to which they're prepared to take risks to help Trump.
Wow, Russia, Russia, Russia.
So the Fed injected $5 trillion into the U.S. economy, right?
And his own guy, Mervyn King, the head of the Bank of England, said that the Fed's injection of $5 trillion in the economy, that's your inflation. He didn't say anything about Russia.
It's the Russians did it. I mean, does this work on anybody?
It's not just hubris. It's like, listen, the Russia, Russia, Russia story has been debunked 6 ways from Sunday for years now. And you don't have another story you can come up with. You can just keep doubling down on the same dog of a story that nobody believes. But you keep putting it out there. It's hilarious. The lack of creativity among these psychopaths is one of the characteristics of psychopaths. They don't have the ability to come up with new stuff. So they keep doubling down and repeating the same threadbare, hackneyed lies that have been dispatched a long time ago.